This is the last in a series of videos in which I have been restoring and repairing this LRP-300 paper tape punch and reader. There wasn't a great deal wrong with it, it just needed cleaning and tidying up. I had to replace a couple of ICs. One of the belts needed replacing. Unfortunately, to replace that I also had to replace a couple of the pulleys, and I changed those from DP40 pitch to the MT2s, which are easy to get. I also replaced the damping rubbers on the punch, so this is just the anti-vibration rubbers, and also I made up some new labels. The labels in some areas were very aged and yellowed, so labels such as this one, I made one for the tape feed indication, and also for the label on the rear of the machine, so I've made fresh labels for that as well, and refinished the case. It was quite badly faded and scratched, and so I refinished the entire case, and I've been testing it to make sure that it works properly, and it's now working fine. So just before I finish this series, I'll connect it up to a terminal and we'll give it a quick run. I'll show you it working. And one of the things that you might find interesting is if I run this at its slower speed. The reason I want to do that is just to show you how slow these things were back in the day when they were in heavy use. So quite commonly 110 baud was used for this type of equipment. So what we'll do is we'll punch a tape. The tape will contain basic version 4, and we'll see how long that takes to punch at 110 baud, and then we'll do the reverse and we'll read that tape and see how long it takes to read. So I'll get it connected to the terminal and we'll get the tape punched. Okay, so it's connected up and it's ready to punch. This temporary arrangement here is just to collect the CHAD. I don't have the CHAD box for this at the moment, and this will just stop the CHAD going everywhere, but other than that it's ready to go. I'll power it up. And now I will create a leader and I'll send a file from the terminal program. I'll bring the terminal up here as usual, and we'll see how long it takes to punch basic 4 at 110 baud. I will actually speed this up, you won't have to sit through the entire thing, but I'll tell you exactly how long it took once it's finished. Okay, so that took around 7 minutes, and what we'll do now is feed the tape back into the machine and we'll read it back into the terminal. So as you can see, this has resulted in quite a significant length of tape being punched, and as you can see, if you wanted a huge program then you could end up with very long tapes. But I mean, 7 minutes is not too bad in the grand scheme of things for the era we're talking about. It was quite a lot of data, and as I say, what we'll do now is put this into the reader and see how long it takes to read. In theory, of course, it should be exactly the same. So I'll just move the camera so you can see the reader a bit more clearly. Okay, so I'll turn the punch off and we'll start the reader. Okay, so as you can see, the tape read fine. The data appeared in the terminal as we expected, and the unit is now fully functional. So I'll just get rid of this, move the camera so we can have a final look at it, and then that will be this project completed. Okay, so that's this series complete. One final look at the machine. As you can see, it looks quite nice. It's in quite nice cosmetic condition now as well. Operates perfectly, punches perfectly, reads fine, and I hope you enjoyed that series.